What a mystery. I wonder which side they're on.
Let's bring in House Financial Services and Budget Committee member, North Carolina Congressman Tim Moore. Congressman, great to see you. But the pressure is on the Republicans, Congressman, to get this bill together. And from where we're sitting right now, one of the big hitches seems to be the SALT cap. And these Republicans up here in New Jersey and in New York, and they're saying our line in the dirt is you're raising it and you're raising it dramatically. And by some calculations, you're talking about what would cost potentially $500 billion over a decade, and you don't have the money for that.
Well, that's true, and it's good to be with you all this evening. I understand some of the concern with the state and local taxes. I mean, we have those in North Carolina as well, but because we've had conservative state government, we actually have pretty low taxes in North Carolina. So to those folks who are worried about how much property taxes and income taxes they pay in these high tax states, come on down. The water's just fine in North Carolina. But to your point, we have to get this budget done. The president has laid out a very clear agenda. The House leadership, Speaker Johnson's gone through the need that we have this one big, beautiful bill that does several things. One, it extends the Trump tax cuts that were, but for that, can you imagine the disaster the economy would have been in with COVID? It was bad enough, but for those tax cuts, we were able to rebound. So we need those tax cuts. We need to spur the economy. We need energy independence, and we have to get a handle on this runaway federal spending that's happened right now. And as I've said before, we do not have a revenue problem in the United States. We have a spending problem, and we're going to fix it.
Well, Congressman, on that point, it seems like there are some of your colleagues who want to get serious on spending. Others don't. They kind of love the tax cuts, but not so much the spending cuts. I get it in D.C., but the math is the math here, right? And there are going to be some tough choices. Give us your thoughts, your mentality on how this has to go.
The bill, the resolution that we passed, that passed with all but one Republican vote, made very clear that we had spending cuts. We had those targets that we are going to meet that have to be in place before the House will, in fact, pass this resolution. Will pass the reconciliation. So it's in there. It's baked in. And so I actually get the sense there's a lot of talk out there, but I get the sense that at the end of the day, folks are going to come together, that we're going to get this done, and that we're going to make the cuts that need to be made, and we're going to pass the tax cuts along, and we're going to make this happen. So I think it's going to happen. And while I'm sympathetic to some of the concerns of folks from states where the states have taxed too much, at the end of the day, we don't need to reward that, right? We need to reward those states that have actually adopted conservative, fiscally sound tax policy.
You don't have to subsidize it, is the point.
Right. And I'm not going to name names and put you on the spot, but these lawmakers from up in these parts, they're like, the cap on the state and local tax deduction is $10,000, and more than doubling it isn't enough. That $25,000 is not going to be enough. It must be higher than that. And the question is, and they're saying, we will not vote for any bill unless we get what we want. And that means finding an offset somewhere. And people are losing their minds over trying to cut $1.5 trillion in spending over a decade. $1.5 trillion in this fiscal year is what our deficit is this year. And Republicans and Democrats alike can't cut $150 billion a year. It is really astonishing at the kind of.
Well, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I think that we actually will do that. And I think that it's that we've identified that. And I got to tip my hat to the president and to Elon Musk with the work that they did with Doge, with really helping find what I would call the low-hanging fruit, the waste, the fraud, the abuse that's out there, things that we can cut that do not impact services. And I think that's where you go first. You go and you try to get rid of that. Then you find ways that you can improve efficiencies. And then you find government programs, because we know there are a lot of them, that actually, disincentivize work. And so there's so many things out there that we can find this waste. We can find it. We can fix it. I mean, I'm just from what I'm seeing, right? From what I'm seeing that we're going to get there. Look, I'm on the Financial Services Committee.
Right.
In our charge that we were given, we were asked, to cut $1 billion. We actually cut 5. I mean, that was pretty good, right? I mean, we not only did 1, we actually found another 4. Who knows? Maybe you could have even found more. But I would submit to you that the committees are going to be able to report that back, and we're going to have a budget that comes together. And I hope we can cut even more waste. I'd like to see us really do something serious about this debt. I'll tell you, Chairman Arrington, chair of our budget committee, has really done a good job of drilling down and finding ways to try to do this, because get this, we pay more in interest on the national debt every year than we do to fund our entire military. That's outrageous.
Right. The interest you pay, we will pay this year is $1 trillion. And so Congress is struggling to cut $1.5 trillion over a decade. Congressman Tim Moore, great to see you. Thank you so much.